Good afternoon, Friday with Fran and friends. How are you? This is, I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm Shelly. This is Fran. Oh, hey, I got it right.
You got it. And this is Cooper.
And that's our friend Cooper. He's one of our friends with Fran on Friday.
He's a furry friend.
He's a furry friend. We're going to do lots of alliteration today.
Yes.
So, those of you who watch regularly will probably notice that our background is a little bit different than normal. Good afternoon, Mom. Anyone else who is joining, please let us know, just as Mom did. Give us a hello, a hashtag live. Let us know where you're calling in from, where you're watching from.
Alex says lemons.
Yes, that's right. Our background is lemons today. Fran, why is our background lemons today?
Well, you always ask me this on this day. Do you have a topic? And I did, actually. And it was, what do we do when life hands us a bunch of lemons?
Mm-hmm. So, the typical answer to that is
Make lemonade.
make lemonade. I don't
What
know
if you
why
don't
that's
like lemonade, though?
exactly. And what if the lemonade isn't any sweeter than the lemons by themselves? What if you don't add sugar? Then why is that better?
And what if the lemons were spoiled before you got them?
Yeah, I like Alex's answer. Ask for apples.
And then you make applesauce.
And yeah, that's good. But
Or apple
again,
pie.
if you're a person who doesn't like applesauce or apple juice, then that's not helpful.
Or apple pie.
Or apple pie. So, what do you do when life gives you lemons, Fran?
Well, it depends.
Okay. And while I want to pause, hold on to that thought. While she's answering, I would like our guests to give their answers as well.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
No problem. It depends on where I am mentally, emotionally, and physically, what I do when life gives me lemons.
Okay. Examples,
yes, that
please.
Sounds like a safe answer, but it really does depend. So, like right now, I have gotten very little sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at this response.
Go ahead.
Make a face.
I like that, Mom. I like that. Have you ever seen a baby get a lemon?
Yes, it's the best.
It is so funny, but at the same time, you feel so bad that you're giving this baby a lemon. And then they put it in their mouth, but then they do it again because they think it can't be that bad again. And so that concrete object permanence, they just do it again, and
Yep. Okay, so depending on the circumstance, your mental energy, your mental capacity, and you have not slept in several days, and Alex says she takes it day by day.
That's good. So for me right now, if I get lemons, I juggle them.
Okay.
Because I don't have time to worry about them. And so I just keep juggling them in the background and keep doing what I'm doing, or all the things that I'm supposed to be doing, or am attempting to do, and just juggle them. So that's what I'm doing with lemons right now. But let's say I got lemons, like next church day to church day when I wasn't so in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Then I made hot tea with my lemons.
Oh.
Because life had come to a screeching, abrupt standstill. And the only way I could process it was to take it moment by moment and bit by bit. So I made tea with my lemons.
There's a whole lot of stuff that we can go deep with that.
But we're not going to right now, because we're going to ask you, what do you do when life hands you lemons?
I think your answer about it depends, you know, it depends on how big the lemon was. Um, my energy to deal with it when it was handed to me. Um, many times, if not all the time, I'll I'll retreat to prayer. Um, sometimes I retreat faster than others. Um, sometimes, depending on the season, I'll go for a walk, clear my head a little bit, um, maybe go outside. And we have hummingbird feeders in the back and the front. And so, depending on the season, if the hummingbirds are here and they come to the feeders, then I know that has helped me settle recently with some stuff that's gone on. And it's kind of like Alex said, just, you just go by day. Sometimes I cry. Lemons are not exactly like onions, but, you get some lemon juice in a cut, man, that'll make you cry.
Oh, yeah. Smarts a bit.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does, for sure. So I don't know. I think, I know you said your answer was kind of almost sounding fake, but I think that's the reality. Is it depends on what each person is able to handle at the time that they get their lemon.
Mm-hmm. And I was thinking as you were talking, I'm like, and sometimes I take lemons and I just refuse to deal with them, and I chunk them in the garbage. That's how I deal with them. I refuse. I'm like, not today. And they just meet their demise in the garbage.
I sometimes like to put them in the garbage disposal and get the fragrance out of them, and turn the lemon into something beneficial. The Bible speaks to that we're supposed to be joyful in all things, not because of or not due to all things, but in all things. So sometimes taking the lemon and putting it in the garbage disposal to get the fragrance is like I said, going for a walk, and maybe, depending on the time of the year, just smelling the fresh air, smelling the flowers, smelling the, maybe somebody's cooking, or there's smells coming from a restaurant. Where we are, we have some real natural animal smells sometimes. Country fresh air. But yeah, just trying to turn something sour into something good.
Yeah, I like what Alex said too.
Squeeze the best out of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. At first, when I read it, I thought it said squeeze the heck out of them, and I was like, okay, I like that too. So, what kinds of things are we talking about even when we talk about lemons? Is it the same for everyone, or do you think it's different for each person?
Oh, I know my lemons are all different, so I'm assuming other people's lemons are different.
I would think so too.
Like, do you remember next time when we had our Friday with Fran, and we were talking with excitement about my new Bryce Cornelius?
Mm-hmm.
And all that Cornelius was going to do?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it's a lemon right now. It's a big lemon.
Oh.
I can't get it to function at all. And so
it's
so frustrating. It's like I want to take the lemon and just chunk it as far as I can into the field. Kind of frustrating. Right. And but the people that Cornelius came from, and the people that produced and created Cornelius know how to make this work. So today, during physical therapy, we sent this many videos.
Okay.
And then I got a text saying, "Do you have a video where you're walking and it's not working?" I'm like, "I'll run back up there." So then I sent another video, but they're going to use those videos to try to problem shoot. So we're taking the lemon that I want to chunk into the field, and instead they're taking the lemon and they're dissecting it and studying it under a microscope to decide what type of lemon exactly it is and how best to make it work with me.
Yeah. And that's, sometimes I think that's a good point, that sometimes we want to get rid of the lemon, but someone else can help us use the lemon in a good way. Right. I think about, so often people have mentioned having a car that's a lemon. And you and I both have pretty old vehicles, but we continue to use them, and we have people that are helping us be able to continue to use them.
Yeah. You're right.
I mean, I don't think that either one of
lemons.
Right. I don't think really, typically when they say a vehicle's a lemon, is like you just buy it and it starts giving you all kinds of problems. I mean, we haven't had that, but like I said, it's important to have people that can look at the lemon differently. So having support to deal with my lemons. You know what, Alex? I think this is a lot of people's. Constant busy schedules is one of my lemons, she says, and with little sleep. Yeah. I think getting little sleep is a lemon, but also getting too much sleep is a lemon. I find that if I get more, like a lot more than what I'm used to getting, I still feel excessively tired. And I don't have any energy. He's so cute.
Sorry, he's very needy right now.
He's like, I'm trying to get you to quiet down. Shush, I'm trying to sleep. Well, like I said, I think he knows that you haven't slept for a few days, and so he's trying to get you to go to sleep.
Yep. I think it's interesting how God's creation of animals so often can read us, whether it's whether it's a cat or dog or even horses and cows, and they read our body language, they read the energy we put off and respond. Sometimes we think inappropriately, but it's appropriate to them.
Oh, sorry to see you go, Alex. Thanks for joining as long as you could.
Yeah, take care.
Yeah, that's something that I've been talking with several people about lately, is just, God's creation and how... That was weird. Did you see my screen just blip?
You froze for a bit.
Oh, crazy. I've never, saw myself fall out. Anyway, and yeah, I mean, animals are definitely his creation, and I think sometimes that he puts animals, or he gave us animals to care for us as much as we are to care for them sometimes.
For sure.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know, something about having a pet, and it just I don't know if it's the actual process of petting or just, I don't know what it is, but it does seem to make a difference. What? Dang, I missed it. Went to get some ice cream. Oh, you missed me thawing out? I'm not sure what you missed.
You missed a lot. Is the ice
Apparently,
cream good? And my
is
question is it lemon?
lemon. That's what I want to
That
know.
would be interesting. Lemon ice cream. How could you make lemon ice cream without curdling the dairy?
I don't know, but they make, well, I don't know if they make lemon ice cream. They make lemon gelato, which
Mm-hmm.
is, but
Or
that's not
lemon
exactly ice
sorbet,
cream.
yeah.
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 I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't
know
know that I've
either.
ever seen lemon ice cream. I guess you could just put like lemon curd flavoring on it or lemon, um, I don't know, some sort of lemon flavoring on it.
Oh, mint chip.
Nope, mint chip. That's a good kind too.
Now I want ice cream.
Well,
But
I mean, we can stop now and go get ice cream.
okay, you want to meet? No. It. What I was going to ask you. I'm trying to bring us back to lemons here.
Oh,
What?
okay.
Oh, we can come over. Okay. What is? How do you help somebody else when life's handed them a bunch of lemons?
I think it depends on the person. The person who's been handed the lemons. Um, because as we talked about, we can handle them differently at different times. And so knowing how the other person is handling it and if they want someone to help them, and then trying to figure out what we can do to help. Sometimes it's just being like, I almost said Jonas, Cooper, and just sitting there, not saying anything, just sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Give them a different perspective of how to make the lemon work for them.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yep. What do you think? How can you help people who have been given lemons?
Sometimes sharing what you've done with the lemons life has given you can help another. So you're
Yep.
sharing your life experiences. And sometimes just ignoring the lemons and talking about something else helps them to reboot so that then they can focus on the lemons.
Mm-hmm. Is there any particular thing that you like to distract them? To talking about something else to distract them?
It depends on the person. I don't mean that just to say that, but it really truly, the more I know a person, the easier it is to distract them from their lemons if I feel like that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Versus if it's someone I don't know very well,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I take cues from what's occurring and just try to be in that moment and walk it out with them.
Yeah. I don't have a particular saying but humor is a good thing if you, I mean, not necessarily that you start, rattling off a whole bunch of jokes like a comedian, but,
Mm-hmm.
if you can make light about something or bring up a funny story or, sometimes that laughter gives that endorphin that a person needs. Um, do you ever sing with someone who's been handed a bunch of lemons?
No, because that would really bring up humor and laughter because I don't have a really good voice. So my singing tends to make them go, really stop. It's okay. I no longer need your assistance. Please go away.
Yeah. Helping her brother, but the flip side of that is she gets to help her brother and gets to know him even better. Yeah, that's mom's lemon right now.
Wow.
So that's a good way to look at it too, is sometimes, our lemons are helping us grow. And that is giving us that, getting the fragrance out of it or getting the good taste out of it. Turning it into a lemon meringue pie.
Mm-hmm. Allie made lemon bars the other day.
Ooh, yeah.
They were so sweet and so tart, all in the same bite. It was like, it was super. And so you could only have a little bit at a time, or it was just too much. And I think that's sometimes,
awesome.
Huh?
I said that's awesome that she was able to get both flavors in there.
Yeah, and I think we can take that to dealing with lemons. Do you want down? And realize that there's a little bit of back and forth, but you can only do it in snippets. You don't have to do it. Become overbearing and hyper focused on it, maybe.
Right. Yeah, or yeah. Take it, deal with it in little bits, little bites. Yeah. I agree with that, because sometimes that's all you can handle, and that's okay. I don't think that we should look down on somebody because they're only tackling little bites of their lemons at once.
Right. I'm visualizing the lemon bars, and it was just like sometimes I would get a bite and I'm like, oh cow, I could only take a bite and I was done.
Yeah.
And sometimes in life we can only take just that little bit, and then it's like, I need a break, and I need a different focus for a little while. And I think it's key that we have people in our lives that can help us with the lemons that life gives us. I don't think we're meant to do life alone. I don't think we're meant to handle all these lemons alone.
Right.
I mean, in the word, it even says that we're not to give up fellowshipping one with another. And so I think that, why would he say that if we're not meant to be with each other?
Right. You need to get off food. I just had ice cream, but now you're making me hungry for more junk food. Well, at least you got to eat the ice cream. Fran and I didn't even get to eat the ice cream or the lemon meringue pie.
You could do chicken scallopini or chicken scampi, because that's full of lemon.
Oh, okay.
And it's healthy for you.
There you go. Now you got dinner designs, Mom.
Or lemon piccata chicken.
Yep.
See, now we're going full meals now.
Right. Some baked fish with lemon.
No, that's if you like fish.
Well, Mom and I like fish.
Oh, okay. I've tried. I really have. And I still don't like it. Okay. Yeah, I'll have a friend have fish sometimes, and I'm like, let me have a bite. Take a bite, and no go. I tried crab the other day, and it was no go, but I tried it.
Crab is delicious. Love crab.
And it sounds delicious. It looks delicious. There's so many dishes with it. There's so many healthy fish dishes that I wish I liked it. But I wasn't raised on it, so
it's definitely a unique texture. I mean, almost all fish has a very similar type of texture, and if you don't like that kind of texture, then you're probably not going
and that could be part of the problem, is the texture.
Yeah.
Because like when I had escargot, that was really nasty. It was like eating snot.
Well,
but I tried it.
It was so much bathed in butter that I really probably didn't taste too much of the snail, but tasted mostly butter. So it wasn't bad.
I think the problem was I had a really big piece of snail, and there was no just swallowing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, how did we get from lemons to escargot?
Food.
Well, you put lemon on escargot, so maybe.
Yep.
You're supposed to squeeze it on there on top of the garlic butter.
See, lemon actually does enhance a lot of things. And
So lemon is not bad.
it isn't. No, I mean,
It's
if
just when you get a lot of them.
And you take it straight. So yeah, if you can use its properties, I mean, lemon zest, that's, the zest of the peel, that's good for things and has a good smell and can add flavor to things. And I don't know, my brain just stopped. I don't know what I was going to say. Yes, it's okay. So what do you do though, or is there anything like when someone gets like a whole wagon full of lemons at once? Because I feel like there are some things in life that are just that big.
Mm-hmm. When that happened just recently in my life, to someone, all I knew to do was to tell them I was there and to prove it by being there and to pray for them. And that's the only way I knew how to help them, because there was nothing I could do to take that wagon load away from them. It was a load that they had to process.
Yeah. And I think that that's one of the hardest parts to deal with in life, is seeing someone that we care about get a whole wagon full of lemons and not being able to remove the lemons. They just have to process them however slow or fast they can process them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there are some lemons that you never get processed through?
That just stick around you mean?
Yeah, that you just
yeah. They become almost monuments to the time that lemon came into your life. I'm having a hard time thinking of the right English word. In the Bible, God would tell them to build a stone monument to remember something. So the lemon becomes that stone monument.
Yeah.
To
like
remember. No, not an altar. The towers of stones that are still to this day in various spots throughout Israel. Like that.
Okay.
So you can look back on them and go, oh, okay, so this reminds me of a time when I had this wagon of lemons and I thought that there was no hope. But I realize now, when I remember this lemon, that I had hope and I came out on the other side victorious and stronger and a much stronger grown person than I was on this side of the wagon with those lemons.
Yeah. That's a good analogy. And also, I think, too, it helps to look back and see when the time that it happened getting further away. And so, in a sense, not that you are all the way through it, but you are further down the road and you are dealing with, I mean, I think for me, a big one is when someone passes. And so, in the moment or in the surrounding moments right after someone passes, if you're extremely close to that person, it's very, very, it is that whole wagon full of lemons, and you don't think you're ever going to get out. Well, I shouldn't say you. I don't think, I don't necessarily feel like I'm ever going to get out from underneath that big wagon full of lemons that's been dumped on top of me. But like thinking about when my dad passed away, um, you know, it's been a lot of years now, and I still miss him terribly. I still think about him every day, but it doesn't feel like a whole wagon full of lemons anymore.
But you still have the lemon there to.
Yeah. Yep. And those are the ones that I think for me that I never completely get rid of. You know, I mean, I lost my grandparents. My grandmother died when I was still in high school. And I still think about her and I still miss her. I had an uncle and an aunt who passed away in those times. A friend of our family who was a high schooler. No, he had actually graduated high school, but he died in a motorcycle accident. You know, I mean, I still think about those people. So I still think maybe there's some remnants of the lemons, but they're not as bitter anymore.
Okay. Yeah. I'm thinking, as you were sharing, then I was just thinking about how do I help my kids with the lemons? I was trying to, how do we help our loved ones with their lemons, not specifically friends, but bringing it more in here. And right now, my son's struggling with the fact that he can't go out and use his debit card all the time because he's used it till empty. So there's nothing left. And he's not getting it. And so I get a phone call every day, sometimes multiple times a day. I'm mad. Staff being mean. No, staff aren't being mean. I need my card in lockbox, you know, and he's trying to reason it through, and I'm trying to help him with this bunch of lemons that was created not all by him, but it's been created. So I'm trying to make some type of manageable, palatable dessert or drink for him as he has to deal with lemons. And I think that's what we do with our kids, don't we? We try to make it a palatable experience with the lemon.
Yep. Something that I just was, as you were talking, I was thinking that might help him, because I think debit cards or gift cards or, you know, any of the plastic that we use that has money on it, and then we spend that money and then it's gone, but we don't actually physically, you know, move anything. So we don't have that sense of being able to understand how that works sometimes, you know, if we don't necessarily have that math ability or that number ability. And so I was just thinking for him, maybe if, you know, there was something tangible, you know, like blocks or even a picture that had like an hourglass or something in it, that where, you know, it starts full when his card has the money on it, and then every time he spends, then he can see that dropping lower.
I don't know if he would grasp that, but I understand what you're saying, and something, and ideally, him having cash would be the best thing, because when all the cash is gone, then he would not. But it's been proven there that he can't keep cash there because people will steal it.
Right.
So we can't do that because we've tried that.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll come up with something. Blocks. I don't know. I'll talk to his supervisor about it and see, because right now he doesn't understand, and all I can tell him is, your card is empty. There is no money, so you can't buy anything. You're broke. I said, you're broke. You have no money. Yes, I do. It's on my card. You know, and it's like,
yeah,
no, it's not.
Well, yeah, it is. It's a very abstract concept. I mean, the whole, you know, moving money from one bank account to another bank account, you know, and never actually, again, physically touching it and physically removing the money from one spot to the next.
Well, I mean, that's how I do it.
Yeah. It's
with
just,
cash.
it's very, it's, yeah, I mean, it's just so, it's very abstract. You know, I mean, when I see people, you know, and they say, like, you know, like people who are super, super wealthy, and they're like, oh yeah, you know, I just moved this amount of money to this account. I'm like, I mean, did you? It's just numbers. They just went up in one account and down in the other one, as far as, you know, the value. But is there that actual money? Like, if you went to that bank and said, I want to take out all of my money, they wouldn't have all of that money to give you.
Mm-hmm.
So it is more just numbers. It's not actual physical objects that are associated with the number. Anyway. Deep thoughts with Shelley Keno today.
It's okay.
How does money work? But I mean, you think about it. Let's go back. Let's bring this back to lemons. There was a time when people would literally hand you, you know, like, hey, I want to get eggs from you. I have potatoes. I'm going to give you 5 eggs for 5. I'm going to give you this many eggs for this many potatoes. You know, and there was a physical exchange, and it was easier to understand.
Mm-hmm.
There was a physical thing for a physical thing. So I'm going to give you 5 lemons, and you're going to give me a lemon meringue pie. Or lemon bars, or something tasty that you're going to take these lemons and make them into something good.
Well, even for me personally, my eat out budget is all in cash. And so when it's gone, I can't eat out anymore. Mm-hmm. And that's how I handle it.
You like that deal? I'm going to give you 5 lemons and you're going to make me a lemon meringue pie. I'm cool with that. Yeah. And, you know, that's one of the ways that they talk about is a good way to budget is you do keep all cash. And you know, you have different envelopes, and you have like a grocery budget and a dine out budget. And no, I don't like that plan. She says do it the other way around. But yeah, I mean, that's a good way to budget, because then you're like, okay, well, the envelope's empty. No more groceries, no more gas, no more eating out, whatever the envelopes are for. So yeah, that's one thing that I've heard about. So what else is there anything else that we haven't talked about to do when life gives you lemons? Can you think of anything else, Mom? I know Alex left. Someone else is watching, though, because it says that we have 2 people watching. So someone else is just listening but not participating. We would love for you to participate. Give us your input right now.
I was thinking about, I was looking back at my life, and I was trying to think of significant times of lemon dropping.
Lemon drops. Ooh, that was a good candy I used to eat when I was... I didn't have lunch. Can you tell? Sorry. Lemon droppings in your life. Go on.
My dad used to get lemon drops when he would go on road trips. That was his big candy, was lemon drops. No, I was thinking how they tied in, and a lot of times for me recently, it's been health times. So I was thinking about when I had my stroke, and it really seemed like life had given me that wagon of lemons that I was not going to be able to get past. Mm-hmm. And I thought, holy cow, what am I doing? And then another wagon got dragged up beside the wagon that was already there, burying me, when I was told, oh, you're not going to have your job back. You're never going to be able to work again. And so I thought, here I am physically pushing myself so that I can get back to work. And then I was told that. So now I have a couple of wagons of lemons. And I thought, well, this is the end of me. There is no hope.
Right.
But I found living hope, as Peter talks about in First Peter, living hope of knowing that God had a plan for me
Mm.
and he would carry it out to fruition as long as I was in his will.
Mhm.
And those couple of wagons of lemons became just a couple of lemons.
Yeah.
And they became they're monuments now to the time when God was faithful to unbury me from wagons of lemons and to point me in the direction that he desired me to go. So for me, that was a way different time of dealing with lemons than other times in my life when I didn't have God.
Yeah. He does make things much more bearable. We just need to remember to go to him.
So how did you teach Violet to handle lemons?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I mean, a lot of it was, this isn't fun. Whatever the lemon was, like the biggest one, even I think harder for her than losing her grandpa was losing her best friend to suicide. So, um, that was a lemon that was a whole wagon and then some. Um, and we we walked beside her every day. Um, we let her ask questions and we tried to answer them as best we could. We cried with her. We prayed with her. Um, we talked about other things that maybe if she ever felt that way that she could do, getting that support, finding that other person to walk alongside and help remove some of the lemons from that wagon. Um, we still talk about Sydney. It's like we talk about my dad. We don't pretend that it didn't happen. And um, I don't know. We took the wagon full a at a time and dealt with them in the bite-sized pieces. And I don't think that I think most of the wagon is gone, but there's still some bigger lemons left. And I think, unfortunately, to some degree, they'll always be there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, and when that happened, she was almost an adult. Well, Violet technically was of legal age to be an adult at that point. So, I mean, the things like little lemons that she would face when she was growing up, we would talk about, okay, so this, like I said, this is a tough time to deal with, or this is a frustrating time, or, this is uncomfortable. And we would look at solutions, look at possibilities, um, try to put ourselves, if it had involved someone else, in that person's shoes. Lots and lots of prayer, lots of listening to Bible stories and discussing the Bible and studying the Bible, trying to get the strength that, she would need and the peace that she would need to deal with her lemons, and how to turn them into good smelling things or good tasting things. Can't think of other things specifically. What about you? I mean, you mentioned the one issue, but what about the other issues that you've had? The other lemons.
Reframing the lemon. Oftentimes was how we tackled it with both of my kiddos. Instead of seeing it as a bucket of lemons, reframing it to be a lemon, or reframing it to not even be a lemon, to be a snake, to be something that they found enjoyable. My daughter's into snakes right now, sorry, so that's why that came up. Even though she came up the other day, she comes in, she goes, Mom. I said, what? She goes, it bit me. I'm like, what bit you? The snake bit me. I'm like, are you okay? Do we need to go to the hospital? Or
Right.
what kind of snake bit you? She's, oh, it was just a garter snake. I'm like, she just goes, it just wouldn't let go. I'm like, okay, well, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. And then I hear thumping back outside. I said, what are you doing? She goes, I'm going to go see if I can find it again. I'm like, did you not learn that it did not want to be held?
Right.
But so that's why I came up with a snake, because to my daughter that would be more enjoyable than a bucket of lemons. And so finding a way to look at the situation and go, yes, life handed you a bucket of lemons, but we're going to turn it into a snake and figure out how to make this an enjoyable experience with a snake as we process this bucket. And so that's what I mean by reframing it into something different, something more easily understood, more enjoyable, more palatable.
That's good.
So I think that's what I did with both kids a lot. Can you hear that lawnmower?
No.
Okay, because I'll close it.
See, I heard something, but it's not. Yeah, I'm with Mom. She says, "Let's get back to lemons. Yucky snakes." Yeah, I mean, I only heard it just because you asked me if I heard it, and then I focused on it, but I don't hear it. So you didn't have to close the window. It's nice outside. I did a silly thing the other day. I thought it was nice outside in the morning, and so I turned off the air conditioner, and I opened the windows, and I turned on the attic fan, and then I went downstairs and I was working, and I forgot that the attic fan was on, and then the temperature got hot outside, and then I was bringing in hot air with the attic fan. So it didn't do me any good at all to turn the air conditioner off, because then I had to turn it back on, and it probably had to run more than it would have had I just left it on all day.
Got it. See, I haven't had the air on for quite a while now, since the heat spell broke.
Yeah.
We haven't had it on at all. We've just had doors open and windows open.
Yeah. You can tolerate the heat more than I can.
Well, we keep our thermostat at 85.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
Yep. Mom's going to have a comment about that, I'm sure. Because that's really, really warm.
Oh, okay. So, anyway.
But that's a lemon that you're dealing with, because you had mentioned that, I think, maybe the last time, but one of the episodes that you had said, it's you keep the temperature there because that's one way that you deal with the high cost of having an air conditioner. And
yeah,
so
it's how I keep my bills manageable.
Right.
Because I would rather eat a nice meal out than run my air.
Yep.
But that's me.
Well, and I mean, that's every person has to decide for themselves. You know, you have to pay your bills. The things like eating out. And honestly, really, air conditioning is a luxury. So figuring out how to manage that, and figuring out your priorities, what's important. What lemons are you going to deal with right now? And maybe some other lemons that you can just throw away or leave them to deal with for later. Like you said, you kind of juggle sometimes and you don't really deal with them at all.
Right. So I'm trying to think back over our conversation today.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have lemons. Everybody has lemons. It's best to handle lemons with others, not
Mm-hmm.
alone. Though there are times we have lemons that we have to tackle on our own, but knowing we have the support of others is
Right.
what's key sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's no right or wrong way to tackle lemons as long as you don't ignore the lemon forever.
Yes. Because if we're thinking physically, if you don't do anything with the lemons, then they're gonna go rotten, and then they're gonna attract bugs and gnats, and then you have a different problem to deal with.
And then you have snakes.
And then I don't know if rotting lemons attract snakes, but I get what you're saying.
I just had to bring them back for your mom, that's all.
Oh, she appreciates that, I'm sure. She's going to leave and go eat her ice cream and not listen to us anymore. We keep talking about snakes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you can make good things out of lemons. I don't really know that you can make good things out of snakes. I guess people eat snakes. I don't know.
Tastes like chicken.
Does it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've heard of snake bites, but they're not really made out of snake. So I don't know exactly what they're made out of, but they're not snake because I've asked.
Okay.
They might be made out of alligator. Shoes? Oh, you could not. Well, yeah, snakeskin shoes. That's true. That's true. Everything has a purpose. Everything is here for a reason. I don't know what mosquitoes' reason is, but they're here for some reason.
Yeah, I wish we knew that one. Because I'm allergic to them.
Yeah, they cause me to get swollen and itchy, and yeah, it's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think something you mentioned a few minutes ago about the fact that everybody has lemons. Sometimes knowing that someone else is going through something is helpful. So knowing that lemons are a part of life, everybody has lemons, bumps in the road, difficulties, struggles, whatever you want to call them. Everybody has them. So you're not alone in having difficulty. And you don't have to go through something alone, and we try to always say that here. You have the 988, you have people that you can call, you have, I know it's hard to ask for help, and I'm not good at that. I'm excellent at giving help. I am zero good at asking for help. I'm getting better. And I know it's difficult, and I know it's not, it's more than difficult for some people. It's degrading, they think, if they have to ask for help, or that they're a failure in some way if they have to ask for help. And you talked about the Bible and how God says for us not to do things alone. I mean, he created all the animals and all the birds and everything, and then he was like, this still isn't good for Adam. He designed a companion for Adam because he knew that going through life alone was not good. So it was one of the very first things that was done in the world of creation, is making a helpmate.
Mm-hmm.
Reach out to your churches, even if you don't go to a specific church. If you need help, that's one of the roles that churches are supposed to play. They're supposed to be there to help people. Reach out to a church. Say, I need somebody to talk to, or I need help with budgeting, or I need help with paying a bill, or I need help with food, or I need whatever. And if the first church you go to says, I'm sorry, we can't help you, don't take that as no church is going to help you. Reach out to another church,
Mm-hmm.
or another person that you know that goes to church. Sometimes the entity of the church isn't as flexible as an individual within that church. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox now.
So I think the key is we all have lemons. We all have to deal with lemons. So as that saying that's been going around Facebook and social media for a while, be kind to one another as you're dealing with lemons. Know that others are dealing as well. And maybe their response to you was not because they were angry with you, but they were in the midst of their own lemons.
I think that's the perfect place to end.
Okey-doke.
All right, because it's close to time anyway. So thank you, Mom. Thank you, Alex, for joining us. And whoever the other person was that didn't comment, that's totally fine. We're glad that you were here. We hope that you have gotten something out of being with us today. And remember, you are never alone. And we will, I think, see you next week. I'm not sure what my calendar says, so I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, maybe we'll see you next week. To make sure that you don't miss us, be sure you subscribe on the YouTube channel, or you like this page so that you get the notifications when Friday with Fran goes live again. That way, no matter if we're here next week or the following, you'll get the notification. Thanks. Have a great Labor Day weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.